So in my last video, I was kind of saying how you want to get a quick gesture down and then you want to go in and tighten the lines. So I'm going to give you guys an example of doing that, because instead of preaching and not practicing, I'm going to practice what I preach. So this sketch is going to be a Witchsona. Of me. So maybe if you guys are on my Instagram, you've probably seen, like, or if you actually go through my Instagram, you will see a picture of what I look like. I don't know if I'm ever gonna, like, actually show my face on YouTube, just because I'm, like, really shy. And I don't want to do that. I'm not one of those people that can, like, I'm on a camera type thing, right? Like, I have a really hard time yeah, I just have a hard time with, like, showing my face. Like, a lot of times I'll go out and I'll delete, like, images of myself. I barely have any photos of me in my 20s. Like, I'm really shy around cameras. That, and I tend to look really awkward on them. Anyway, so we're doing me as a Witchsona. Bun. I always have my hair in a bun. Stop detailing. So I was in school, I always had, like, a bag with a ton of pins and stuff on it, and there'd always be, like, a super big sketchbook in it, and all kinds of drawing materials, and kind of want to go back to that, but a lot of time, like, I've also found that, like, by having so much stuff in my bag, I was, like, killing my bag. So yeah. Anyways, so last video I was talking about, like, doing a loose sketch and, like, getting your ideas down. Like, getting the gesture down, and I've kind of tightened up on this one a bit, so just that I don't know placement right now. Jesus fuck. Practice what you preach and then you fuck it up. Good fucking job, Megan. I would be, like, the worst person to have superpowers too, just because I get so annoyed so quickly. Like, I have no patience, and, like, I'm just like, no, either get it done or get the fuck out of my way. Like, I'm like that with a lot of things, so it's just like I'm not really eloquent. Like, I have a really hard time getting my thoughts out and, like, by speaking, but I get really frustrated really quickly with just people who are too slow at things, which is really hilarious and very hypocritical of me, because I always have trouble, like, getting my thoughts out. At the roundest face too. I'm gonna erase this in a minute. Not to mention, I have, like, the smallest hands. Well, not the smallest. There are people with smaller hands than me, but I have very petite hands, which is kind of hilarious. Let's draw a pencil up here. Pencil and, like, a journal sketchbook thing, because my Witchsona would be an artist. My grimoire would be all illustrated. I've done so many times, I've, like, tried to sit down and, like, actually illustrate a grimoire. And because, one, I love natural things and witchcraft and everything, and I've studied witchcraft since I was, like, 15, like, off and on, and, like, understanding, like, what is actually Wicca, and, like, my dad actually was my dad of all people, right? He was Protestant. Yeah, because there's Catholic and Protestant, right? So he was Protestant, my mom's Catholic. Great fucking combination. But he basically stopped going to church, and he's like, I don't believe in you have to pay for your faith. And he actually believes in the Gaia theory, which is that the earth is the provider, which makes a lot more sense than, I'm not even going to get into religion again, because that was just, I don't like doing that. But like, my dad believes in Gaia theory, which is the earth is our creator, and the earth will provide us, and the earth will renew itself. So even though people are like trying to destroy it, the world will balance itself out. And if you look at like all these storms and shit that happen, it's like he's karma is a big thing, and like he's always like, the earth will renew what has been destroyed, and it will do so through destruction. There's a very, very old Babylonian saying, and it is, nature will renew itself through fire. And it's very true, because a lot of times forest fires, after a forest fire, right now it's shitty that they happen, but what happens is the ash and everything from the fire and from the burnt plants will actually like create incredibly fertile soil. And a lot of times what happens is like certain plants need their seeds like to be heated to a specific temperature so that they will become like, so that they will germinate. It's a really, really neat process, and I forget where I was. I think it was, I don't know, it was in one of my science classes that I was learning about that, but it's actually a really cool process. And I don't know, I just, that kind of saying, or that saying really resonated with me. Like, the world, shitty things happen in the world and natural disasters happen, but what it is it's the world purging itself, which it sucks, but that's the one thing, like, we can control, like, people making decisions to destroy things, like digging up like riverbeds and swamps for pipelines and shit. That's man-made disaster that happens. Like oil rigs that explode, that's man-made disasters. Tidal waves, earthquakes, volcanoes exploding, storms, that's all nature. So it's kind of like nature is purging itself, and we can't control that, and I don't think we're ever going to control that, because I'm pretty sure if we do, that'll be the end of the world, is once nature is not able to purge itself. But it sucks, but that's just kind of my weird little belief system. Anyway, back to the witchcraft thing. Yeah, so I've been studying witchcraft for 17 years. Like off and on, hardcore. And what I've found is that it's basically a worship of the earth, and that is what I like about it, is that it makes you aware of nature, and it makes you aware of the world around you, and it's like a karma balance system. It's like what you put out into the universe is what will come back to you. So if you put negativity out and you're like violent and you're angry and all these kind of things, that's what's going to come back at you. But if you try to be a good person and you try to let bygones be bygones and that kind of thing, like, you'll be okay. So that's kind of like the way I've tried to live my life, is even though I do have anger issues and I do have a lot of frustrations, like, and stuff, I try to just make sure that I'm not taking it out on people, and that I'm treating people with, respect and decently, right? Like, I'm not turning my nose up at people because they're of a different race or of, like, a different sexual orientation type thing. Like, that's wrong. I'm sorry, but we don't choose the way that we're born. And the fact that people judge others on that, I don't think it's anyone's business. Like, if you don't harm others and you don't harm yourself in a way that harms others, like, who the fuck is anyone else to tell you how to live your life, right? Like, if you are living your life as best as you can and like being a good person as much as you can be a good person, like, type thing, and if you are consciously aware of the decisions that you are making and that you are making good decisions not to harm others or to affect others in a negative way, then good on ya. Like, I don't give a shit who you sleep with as long as you are both consenting adults. Like, consenting parties to the actions that are happening. Good for you type thing, right? Like, anyway. I babble, I ramble, I talk about weird things. So yeah. So as you guys can see, getting back to the drawing, I took out my original sketch and now I'm just like kind of going in with cleaner lines and nicer lines, just to clean it up. But because I had a nice loose sketch under there, I'm able to kind of pick out the good energy lines in this and make my details accordingly so that I have a nice drawing that is energetic and has a bit of life to it. I really want to get back into my cartooning. I went really tight for a while for illustration purposes, and I don't like that. I like my characters to have life and vibrancy and everything. So I really want to get back into doing my cartooning. Sorry, I pause. Pisses my boyfriend off, like, you wouldn't believe. I'll pause mid-sentence. He's like, are you going to finish that sentence? I'm like, yeah, I will eventually. Oh dear. Oh my. Anyway. Speaking of which, my dinner went off very well. Basically, I made a bunch of appetizers. So we had like bacon wrapped scallops and meatballs with a glaze, mussels. What else did I make? I made like a broccoli salad, and there was a baguette because mussels, like the brine and stuff that the mussels are in, it's freaking delicious to get a baguette into. Not exactly healthy for you, but really good. So yeah, my dinner went over very well. Oh, and I did stuffed mushroom caps as well. So I was very happy with that turning out, because I was kind of worried. Like, I'm like, oh my god, I got all these things to make and I'm not going to have enough time. And I just kind of puttered in the kitchen and everything came up at the same time, and I was so happy with the way everything turned out. It was really great. Anyway. When I was in school, we'd have to go out and draw outside and watch people and everything. So I always wore fingerless gloves, even when I was drawing in class, because my hands were always so freaking cold. But I still have them somewhere, and I love them. Like, I don't know, it makes me reminiscent of my school days. And yeah, it just makes me happy. I think like the little things that make you happy are the most important. Like wearing a specific, like, maybe you really like your one sweater, like it's just one of those sweaters that you just absolutely adore, like that kind of thing. Like, it's the little things in life that you will actually remember the most, and they're the ones that make you happy, like the small moments. Anyway, I don't know when I became a self-help channel, but apparently that's where I'm moving to. Oh god, and I love ripped jeans. It's so funny because my boyfriend's family like hates ripped jeans, and my mom hates ripped jeans. I'm just like, no, give me all of the ripped jeans. I think it's because I grew up in like the grunge era of the 90s, so it's just like ripped jeans and bed hair and plaid. Oh my god, I love plaid so much. Like, if I could, I'd wear plaid every day, but I'm pretty sure if I had that much plaid in my house, my boyfriend would burn it down. He hates plaid. We're so weird. Like, we're so alike in some ways, and then we're polar opposites in others. And it works for us, right? Like, it's so peculiar. I'm just like, I like this and this. And he's like, I don't like that at all. Like, I love tattoos. I think tattoos are great. Like, if they're done properly and they look nice. Like, I love the artistry in tattoos. I don't have any yet, and I'm debating on getting one, but it's like, I don't want junk on my body. I want nice art on my body. And to get a good artist that takes pride in their work and like that has nice work is like really hard to find and like expensive. So it would be an investment, and I don't have the money right now for that. So it's like, okay, well, that's a privilege and that's kind of a want. It's not a need. And I'm kind of, right now, I'm more on the what do I need this week instead of what do I want. It's better to live, like, to give yourself some of the wants, but you don't need everything. Like, it's to live a happier life. It's kind of like, okay, what do you need? Okay, you've got that covered. And then it's like, okay, well, maybe you can get one of the things that you want. And I just think you'll be happier, because if you get everything you want, you start to become a little bit jaded and like, what's the word I'm looking for? This is the problem I have. I can't like think of the words properly. It's like you become disinterested because you're getting all of the things you want. So you get it and you're like, yay, I got this thing. And then you stop caring about it because, hey, I got that thing. And you don't give a shit that you have this really nice thing anymore. So it's just kind of like, oh, poo, like, that sucks. Oh well. Anyway, I am rambling like hell. This is a almost 20-minute video of me rambling and drawing. Oh dear God, I'm so sorry. But yeah, so I have an absurd amount of moles on my face. Anyway, so there, Witchsona me with a really bad boot. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave questions or comments in the comment section below. And yeah, like, let me know what you think of things and stuffs. And yeah. Bye, guys.